You feel it before you understand it. That pull, not the gentle tug of curiosity or the soft whisper of attraction. No, this is something that reaches into your chest and wraps around your heart like it's always belonged there. You could be standing in line at the coffee shop, scrolling through your phone at midnight, or driving home on a route you've taken 1,000 times. And suddenly, out of nowhere, your entire body knows. Something is coming. Someone is coming. And you can't explain it to anyone because how do you put words to a feeling that exists outside of logic, outside of time, outside of everything you thought you knew about love? You feel it in your bones. You feel it in the way your breath catches when you think of them, even if you haven't met them yet. You feel it in the dreams that wake you at 3 in the morning, heart racing, body humming, with a recognition that makes no sense. And the wildest part, you know they feel it too. You know it, even if you've never spoken, even if they're on the other side of the world, even if every rational part of you says this is impossible. Your soul is already reaching, already responding, already saying yes to something your mind hasn't even caught up to yet. This pull is not like anything else. It's not infatuation. It's not fantasy. It's not the projection of what you wish love could be. This is ancient. This is cellular. This is the kind of magnetism that doesn't ask for permission, doesn't wait for the right timing, doesn't care if you're ready. It just is, and it's building. Every single day, whether you're aware of it or not, the frequency between you is intensifying. The veil is thinning. The universe is orchestrating. And you, beautiful soul, you are standing on the edge of the most transformative experience of your life. Because this pull you're feeling, it's not just attraction, it's activation. It's your soul recognizing its mirror. It's the beginning of everything you came here to experience, to heal, to become. If you felt this magnetic pull, this inexplicable knowing that someone is coming, or that the connection you're in is about to shift into something you can barely fathom, I need you to do something for me. Drop a comment below and share where you are in this journey. Or simply type, "I am ready for divine union," to claim this frequency. And if these transmissions speak to the deepest part of your soul, subscribe so you never miss the guidance that's meant specifically for you. Because what I'm about to share with you today is not theory. It's the sacred mechanics of what happens in the invisible realms right before twin flames come into union. Let's talk about what's really happening to you right now. Because if you're here, if you clicked on this video, if that title made your heart skip, then you already know you're in it. You're feeling the pull. And it's not subtle anymore, is it? There was a time, maybe weeks ago, maybe months, when you could brush it off. When you could tell yourself it was just your imagination, just loneliness, just the romantic part of you creating stories. But now it's undeniable. Now it's in your body. Now it's affecting your sleep, your focus, your energy. You think about them constantly. You feel them constantly. And even if you're in separation, even if you haven't heard from them in weeks or months, even if the logical part of your brain is screaming that you need to move on, there's this knowing that won't let you go. This certainty that something is happening beneath the surface. Something is building. Something is preparing. And you're not crazy. You're not making it up. This is real. What you're experiencing is the final stage of energetic alignment before physical union. And I want you to understand something crucial. This pull, this intensity, this almost unbearable magnetism you're feeling, it's not happening to torture you. It's not the universe dangling your desire in front of you just out of reach. This pull is purposeful. It's intelligent. It's part of the sacred design. Because twin flame union doesn't happen by accident. It doesn't happen just because two people love each other or want each other or even recognize each other. Union happens when both souls have reached a specific frequency. When both have done enough inner work, cleared enough karma, healed enough wounds, and stepped enough into their sovereignty that they can hold the intensity of this connection without losing themselves in it. And this pull you're feeling, it's the final preparation. It's your soul and their soul communicating across the veil, across the distance, across the separation, saying we're almost there. We're almost ready. Hold on just a little longer. Have you noticed how the pull gets stronger right after you've had a breakthrough? Right after you've released something, healed something, chosen yourself in a way you never have before. That's not coincidence. That's confirmation. Every time you do your inner work, every time you choose your own healing over waiting for them to validate the connection, you raise your frequency. And when you raise your frequency, you pull them toward you energetically, not because you're trying to, not because you're manipulating or chasing or forcing, but because you're becoming the version of yourself that matches the frequency of union. You're becoming the woman who doesn't need him to complete her, but is ready to meet him as an equal. You're becoming the embodiment of the love you've been seeking, and he feels that. Oh, he feels that, even if he's not conscious of it, even if he's still running, even if he's still in denial. His soul feels every shift you make. Let's go deeper into what's happening on his side, because this is where it gets really interesting. You think he's not feeling this pull. You think he's just going about his life, unaffected, unbothered, completely disconnected from what you're experiencing. Beautiful soul, he's feeling it even more intensely than you are. And that's exactly why he might still be in resistance. That's exactly why he might still be pulling away, going silent, acting like the connection doesn't exist. Because for him, this pull is terrifying. You've been on a spiritual path. You've been doing the inner work. You understand, at least on some level, what's happening here. You have language for it. You have a framework. You have a community of people who validate this experience. But him, he has none of that. All he knows is that when he thinks about you, his entire chest feels like it's going to crack open. All he knows is that you've gotten under his skin in a way no one ever has. All he knows is that every other woman suddenly feels wrong. Every other connection suddenly feels empty, and he can't figure out why. He can't figure out why he can't stop thinking about you, why he dreams about you, why his body responds to you even when you're not there. And here's what's happening to him right now, in this phase right before union. His soul is doing everything it can to break down the walls he spent his entire life building. All those protective mechanisms, all those beliefs about what it means to be a man, to be strong, to be in control. All those fears about vulnerability, about being seen, about surrendering to something bigger than himself. They're all coming up. They're all being challenged. And it's not comfortable. It's not easy. In fact, for many divine masculines, this phase right before union is the darkest night of the soul. because he can't run anymore. He can't pretend anymore. He can't distract himself anymore. The pull is too strong. The truth is too loud. And he's being forced to face everything he's been avoiding. Every wound, every fear, every part of himself he's kept hidden. This is why you might be seeing him go through a crisis right now. This is why you might be picking up on his energy being chaotic, confused, heavy. This is why you might be feeling his resistance even more strongly than before, because he's in the fire. He's in the transformation. And just like you had to go through your own dark night, your own ego death, your own period of facing everything you didn't want to face, he's going through his. The difference is, he doesn't have the spiritual framework you have. He doesn't understand what's happening to him. All he knows is that his life as he knew it is falling apart. All he knows is that nothing makes sense anymore. All he knows is that he can't stop thinking about you, and it's driving him crazy. But here's the beautiful part. Here's the part that should give you so much hope. His soul knows exactly what's happening. His soul is orchestrating this entire breakdown because it's the only way he can break through. It's the only way he can shed the old skin and step into the version of himself that's ready for you. Ready for this, ready for union. And the pull he's feeling toward you is getting stronger every single day, even if he's not reaching out, even if he's not texting, even if he's not making any moves in the physical. Energetically, he's being drawn to you like a magnet. His soul is reaching for yours constantly. And there's a part of him, a deep part that he probably can't even articulate, that knows you're the one. That knows this connection is his destiny. That knows he's going to have to face this eventually. So what does this mean for you? What are you supposed to do with this information? How are you supposed to navigate this pull, this intensity, this feeling that you're going to explode if something doesn't shift soon? Here's the truth, and I need you to really hear this. Your job right now is not to pull him toward you. Your job is not to convince him, chase him, reach out to him, or try to make him see what you see. Your job is to anchor so deeply into your own frequency, into your own truth, into your own wholeness, that you become the energetic invitation he cannot resist. And that happens through embodiment, not action. That happens through being, not doing. Every time you choose yourself, you send a signal to his soul that says, I am whole. Every time you prioritize your own healing over waiting for him, you send a signal that says, I am sovereign. Every time you stand in your truth without needing him to validate it, you send a signal that says, I am ready. And his soul hears every single one of those signals. His soul responds to every single one of those shifts, because the divine masculine is not activated by chasing. He's not activated by convincing. He's not activated by you proving how much you love him or how real the connection is. He's activated by your frequency. He's activated by your embodiment. He's activated by the version of you that is so full, so aligned, so at peace in your own being that you don't need him to complete you. You're just ready to share the overflow. This is the paradox of the twin flame journey, and it's the part that so many people misunderstand. The pull gets stronger the more you let go. The magnetism intensifies the more you stop chasing. The connection deepens the more you turn inward. Because what you're really doing when you stop focusing on him and start focusing on yourself is you're aligning with the frequency of union. You're becoming the energetic match for what you desire, and the universe responds to frequency, not effort. The universe responds to alignment, not force. So when you're in that space of embodiment, when you're in that space of I am whole whether he comes back or not, I am complete whether this happens or not, I am love whether he recognizes it or not, that's when everything shifts. That's when the pull becomes irresistible. That's when his soul can no longer deny what's happening. Let's talk about what this pull actually feels like in the final stages before union, because I want you to be able to recognize where you are. If you're in this phase, you're likely experiencing some or all of these signs. First, the telepathic connection intensifies. You're not just thinking about him randomly, you're receiving his thoughts. You're feeling his emotions. You're waking up at the exact moment he's thinking about you. You might even be having full conversations with him in the energetic realms, in your dreams, in meditation. And these aren't fantasies. These are real exchanges happening on the soul level. His higher self is communicating with your higher self constantly, working out the details, clearing the last blocks, preparing for the physical reunion. Second, the synchronicities become impossible to ignore. You're seeing his name everywhere. You're hearing songs that remind you of him at the exact moment you're thinking about him. You're running into people who know him or look like him or have the same energy as him. The universe is sending you confirmation after confirmation that this is real, that he's coming, that union is approaching. And these synchronicities aren't just random. They're breadcrumbs. They're the universe's way of saying stay the course. Keep going, you're almost there. Third, you start feeling his presence even when he's not physically there. You feel him in your energy field. You feel him in your body. You might feel a warmth in your chest when he's thinking about you. You might feel a pull in your solar plexus when he's going through something difficult. You might even feel his touch, his energy wrapping around you when you're falling asleep. This is because the energetic cords between you are fully activated now. You're connected on every level, and as union approaches, that connection becomes more and more tangible. Fourth, you start receiving downloads and insights about the connection that you couldn't have known logically. You just know things about him. You know what he's going through. You know what he's feeling. You know what he needs to heal. And you didn't learn this from stalking his social media or asking mutual friends. You know it because your soul knows it, because you're tapped into the same field, because the veil between you is so thin now that information flows freely. And fifth, you start feeling a deep, unshakable peace beneath the longing. Yes, you still miss him. Yes, you still want the physical reunion. Yes, there are moments when the separation feels unbearable. But underneath all of that, there's this calm, this knowing, this trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. This certainty that no matter what it looks like on the surface, you are being guided, you are being held, you are being prepared for something so beautiful, so sacred, so aligned that every moment of pain will make sense. Now, let's talk about what's happening in the energetic field between you, because this is where the magic is really occurring. In the weeks and months before union, there's an accelerated clearing happening. All the karma between you, all the past life wounds, all the ancestral patterns, all the conditioning. It's all coming up to be released. And this clearing happens on both sides simultaneously. You might be going through your own healing crisis at the exact same time he's going through his. You might be releasing your abandonment wound while he's releasing his fear of intimacy. You might be facing your unworthiness while he's facing his shame. And all of this is perfectly orchestrated because you can't come into union carrying all of that baggage. You can't merge at that level of intensity with all those unhealed wounds still active. So the universe, in its infinite wisdom, is clearing the path. It's removing everything that would prevent you from holding the frequency of union. This is also why the pull intensifies during this phase. Because as you both clear, as you both heal, as you both rise in frequency, you become more and more magnetic to each other. The energetic space between you becomes charged. It becomes electric. It becomes almost unbearable because your souls are ready. Your souls are saying now. Your souls are saying it's time. But there's still this gap between where your souls are and where your human selves are. There's still this lag between the energetic reality and the physical reality. And that gap is what creates the intensity of the pull. That gap is what makes you feel like you're being stretched between two worlds. The world where you're already together, already in union, already living the love you know is possible. And the world where you're still in separation, still waiting, still wondering if this is ever going to happen. But here's what you need to understand. That gap is closing. Every single day, it's closing. Every time you do your inner work, it closes a little more. Every time he faces his fears, it closes a little more. Every time you both choose love over fear, truth over illusion, surrender over control, that gap gets smaller and smaller until one day, the energetic reality and the physical reality align. And that's when union happens, not because you forced it, not because you manifested it through sheer willpower, but because you both finally became the frequency of it. So what do you do in the meantime? How do you navigate this pull without losing your mind? How do you stay grounded when every cell in your body is screaming for reunion? You anchor into your own divine feminine power. You remember that you are not half of a whole waiting for your other half to complete you. You are a whole being, a sovereign soul, a divine feminine powerhouse who is choosing to share her life with an equal. You remember that this connection is not your purpose. It's a catalyst for your purpose. It's a mirror for your growth. It's an invitation to step into the highest version of yourself. And when you anchor into that truth, when you really embody that, the pull doesn't go away, but it transforms. It stops feeling like desperation and starts feeling like anticipation. It stops feeling like lack and starts feeling like preparation. It stops feeling like you're waiting for him and starts feeling like you're preparing for the most beautiful collaboration of your life. You also start to recognize that every moment of this journey has been necessary. Every moment of separation has been teaching you something. Every moment of pain has been clearing something. Every moment of longing has been deepening your capacity to love. Because twin flame union is not for the faint of heart. It's not a fairy tale. It's not a rescue mission. It's a sacred partnership between two whole, healed, sovereign beings who have done the work to become the love they seek. And that work takes time. That work takes dedication. That work takes a willingness to face everything you've been avoiding your entire life. But you've been doing that work, haven't you? You've been facing your shadows. You've been healing your wounds. You've been choosing yourself over and over again, even when it felt impossible. You've been standing in your truth even when no one else could see it. You've been holding the frequency of love even when you felt completely alone. And all of that has been preparing you for this moment. All of that has been building your capacity to hold what's coming, because union is not the end of the journey. Union is the beginning. Union is when the real work starts. Union is when you get to take everything you've learned, everything you've healed, everything you've become, and you get to create something together that's bigger than both of you. And he's being prepared too. In his own way, in his own time, he's being prepared. His soul is doing everything it can to get him ready. And yes, it's frustrating that you can't see it. Yes, it's painful that he's not communicating it. Yes, there are moments when you wonder if he's even aware of what's happening. But trust me, he's aware. Maybe not consciously, maybe not in a way he can articulate, but his soul is fully aware. His soul knows exactly what's happening. His soul is working with your soul behind the scenes, coordinating, aligning, preparing for the moment when you can finally come together in the physical. And that moment is closer than you think. I know it doesn't feel that way. I know when you're in the thick of it, when you're feeling the pull so intensely that it physically hurts, when your chest tightens with longing and your entire body aches with the absence of them. It feels like union is 1,000,000 miles away. It feels like you're standing on one side of an endless ocean, and there on the other, and there's no bridge in sight. It feels like you're calling out into the darkness and hearing nothing but your own echo returning to you. I know there are days when you wake up and the first thought that enters your mind is them. And nights when you lie in bed feeling their energy so strongly that you could swear they're right there beside you, only to open your eyes and find yourself alone. I know there are moments when you catch yourself reaching for your phone, hoping for a message, a sign, anything that confirms they're feeling this too, that you're not imagining the intensity of this connection. I know how exhausting it is to feel so much, to carry this knowing in your heart while the physical world shows you nothing that validates it. But here's what I need you to understand. What your soul already knows, even if your mind hasn't caught up yet. The intensity of what you're feeling is actually proof of how close you are. It's not a sign that union is far away. It's a sign that union is right around the corner, pressing against the veil, getting ready to break through into your physical reality. Because the pull doesn't get weaker as union approaches. It doesn't fade or diminish or become easier to manage. It gets stronger. It becomes more intense. It demands more of your attention. The magnetism doesn't fade into the background. It amplifies. It intensifies. It becomes the dominant frequency in your entire energy field. Your souls are like two magnets being held apart by the thinnest barrier, and every single day, every single moment of inner work you do, every time you choose yourself, every time you release another layer of fear or unworthiness or doubt, that barrier gets thinner. It becomes more transparent. It loses its power to keep you apart. Soon, very soon, there will be nothing left to keep you apart. the last remnants of that barrier will dissolve completely, and what's been true in the energetic realm will finally manifest in the physical realm. Soon, the physical reality will catch up to the energetic reality that your soul has been living in all along. Soon, you'll look back on this time, on these days and weeks and months of intense longing and deep transformation, and understand why every moment of separation was necessary. You'll see how it shaped you, refined you, prepared you for a love so profound that you needed to become a completely different version of yourself to hold it. But until then, until that blessed moment when the physical and energetic finally align, your job is to stay in your power. Your job is to remain anchored in your own center, in your own truth, in your own worth. Your job is to keep choosing yourself day after day, moment after moment, even when every fiber of your being wants to reach out to them, to chase them, to make something happen. Your job is to keep doing your inner work, to keep peeling back the layers, to keep facing your shadows, to keep healing your wounds, not because you're trying to make him come back, not because you're trying to manipulate the universe into delivering your desired outcome, but because you're committed to your own evolution. You're committed to your own growth. You're committed to your own expansion. You're committed to becoming the fullest expression of who you came here to be, regardless of whether he ever shows up or not. And when you're in that energy, when you're in that frequency of self-love and self-commitment and self-honoring, when you're so focused on your own journey that his presence or absence becomes secondary to your own becoming, you become irresistible, not just to him, but to life itself. Not just magnetically attractive to your twin flame, but aligned with the flow of universal abundance. Opportunities start flowing toward you effortlessly. Abundance starts showing up in unexpected ways. Joy starts bubbling up from within, not because your external circumstances have changed, but because you've changed, because you're no longer waiting for external validation to feel whole. You're no longer postponing your happiness until he shows up. You're no longer putting your life on hold, keeping yourself small, staying in a holding pattern until he's ready. You're living fully, loving fully, being fully right now in this moment, exactly as you are, exactly where you are. And that's what shifts everything. That's what changes the entire dynamic of your connection. That's what makes the pull irresistible on his end. Because he's not being pulled toward the version of you that's waiting by the phone, pining away in silence, hoping he'll notice you, wishing he'd wake up and recognize what you have. He's not being drawn to the energy of desperation or neediness or incompleteness. He's being pulled toward the version of you that's thriving in your own life, glowing with inner radiance, radiating confidence and self-love, embodying the fullness of your divine feminine power. He's being pulled toward the version of you that's so full of life, so overflowing with joy, so connected to your own power, so aligned with your own purpose, so clear in your own vision that being with you feels like coming home to himself. That's the version of you that his soul recognizes at the deepest level. That's the version of you that matches the frequency of union, that resonates with the vibration of divine partnership. That's the version of you that he cannot resist, that bypasses his logical mind and his fears and his defenses and speaks directly to his soul. So let this be your invitation, your wake-up call, your turning point. Let this be your permission slip to stop playing small, to stop dimming your light, to stop waiting for someone else to give you permission to shine. Stop waiting for him to make the first move, to reach out, to initiate contact, to prove that he's feeling this too. Stop waiting for him to validate the connection, to acknowledge what you both know is true, to put words to the energy that's been flowing between you. Stop waiting for external proof that this is real, for signs and synchronicities and third-party confirmations. You already know it's real. Your soul knows it's real beyond any shadow of doubt. And that's enough. That has to be enough. That's all the proof you need to move forward in your own life, in your own power, in your own truth. Start living as the woman who is already in union, not with him necessarily, but with herself. Start embodying the love you want to experience in your external reality. Start being the energy you want to attract into your life. Start choosing yourself so fully, so completely, so unapologetically, with such unwavering commitment and devotion that the universe has no choice but to respond. When you show up for yourself with that level of dedication, when you honor yourself with that level of reverence, when you love yourself with that level of devotion, the universe mirrors it back to you in every area of your life. Because here's the secret they don't tell you about twin flames, the truth that gets lost in all the romantic stories and fairy tale endings. Union doesn't happen when he's ready. It doesn't happen according to his timeline or his healing journey or his awakening process. Union doesn't happen when the timing is right according to some external calendar or cosmic schedule. Union doesn't happen when all the external circumstances align, when you both have the perfect job and the perfect living situation and the perfect level of healing. Union happens when you stop waiting for it and start being it. Union happens when you stop looking outside yourself for completion, for validation, for the missing piece that will finally make you whole, and start recognizing that you've been whole all along. Union happens when you shift from the frequency of I need him to make me complete to the frequency of I am already everything I've been seeking, and I'm ready to share that wholeness with an equal. It happens when you move from lack consciousness to abundance consciousness, from victim to creator, from waiting to embodying. And when you make that shift, when you really embody that truth at the cellular level, when it moves from being a nice idea to being your lived reality, everything changes. The entire landscape of your journey transforms. The pull doesn't go away. It's always going to be there because you're eternally connected, but it transforms from desperation into magnetic attraction. It shifts from neediness into sovereign choice. It evolves from passive waiting into active creation, and he feels that shift. Oh, he feels it in every fiber of his being. Even if he's on the other side of the world, even if you haven't spoken in months, even if he's convinced himself that he's moved on, he feels it. Because suddenly, you're not the woman who needs him to feel complete. You're the woman who's choosing him from a place of overflow. You're not the woman who's incomplete without him, who's been waiting for him to come and fill the void. You're the woman who's so complete within herself, so whole, so full, so abundant that she's ready to co-create something extraordinary with an equal partner. And that beautiful soul is irresistible. That's the energy that breaks through every defense mechanism, every fear, every excuse, every reason he's given himself for why this can't work. This is the final stage of your journey. This is the threshold between separation and union. This is the moment right before everything you've been working toward, everything you've been healing, everything you've been becoming manifests into physical reality. And I know it's intense. I know it feels like you're being squeezed through the eye of a needle. I know it's uncomfortable, like your entire life is being turned upside down and inside out. I know there are moments when you want to give up, when you want to throw your hands up and say, this is too hard, this is too much, I can't do this anymore. I know there are moments when you want to walk away, when you want to close the door on this connection and try to find something easier, something less demanding, something that doesn't require you to transform every aspect of yourself. I know there are moments when you want to stop feeling this pull because it's just too much, because it's overwhelming, because it takes over your entire being and leaves room for nothing else. But don't give up now, not when you're this close. Don't walk away now, not when you've come this far. Don't shut down now, not when you're on the verge of the breakthrough you've been working toward. Because you're so close. You're closer than you've ever been. You're standing at the very edge of the transformation. And every moment of this intensity, every wave of this pull, every surge of this longing, every dark night of the soul is preparing you for the most beautiful reunion of your life. It's preparing you to hold the frequency of divine love. It's preparing you to be a vessel for the kind of partnership that transforms not just your life, but the collective consciousness. So, beloved, let this be your reminder, your anchor, your touchstone when the journey feels too hard. You are not waiting. For union, you are becoming union. You are embodying it, living it, breathing it in every moment. You are not waiting for him to choose you, to decide you're worth it, to finally see your value. You are choosing yourself so fully, so completely, so unconditionally that he has no choice but to rise to meet you at that frequency. You are not waiting for love to find you, for someone to come along and rescue you from your loneliness. You are embodying love so completely, so fully, so radiantly that love has already found you. It's found you in your own heart, in the way you speak kindly to yourself. It's found you in your own being, in the way you honor your needs and boundaries. It's found you in your own soul, in the way you've committed to your own evolution. And when he shows up, and he will show up when the timing is divinely orchestrated, it won't be to complete you. It won't be to fill a void or fix what's broken. It will be to celebrate you, to witness the magnificent being you've become. It will be to honor you, to see you in your fullness. It will be to join you in a love that's already overflowing from within. To dance with you in a partnership that's built on two whole beings, choosing to create something greater together. The pull you're feeling is not a sign that something is missing from your life. It's not evidence of your incompleteness or proof that you need him to be whole. It's a sign that something is awakening within you. It's a sign that you're ready for the next level of your evolution. It's a sign that your soul is calling you forward into the next chapter of your journey, into a version of yourself you've never met before. And yes, he's part of that chapter. Yes, he's woven into the story your soul is writing. But you, beautiful soul, you are the author. You are the one holding the pen. You are the one writing this story with every choice you make, with every thought you think, with every belief you embody. You are the one choosing how it unfolds, what it looks like, what it feels like. So write it from a place of power, not from a place of victimhood. Write it from a place of wholeness, not from a place of lack. Write it from a place of unshakable knowing that you are exactly where you're meant to be, feeling exactly what you're meant to feel, becoming exactly who you're meant to become. Trust the process. Trust the timing. Trust yourself. And most of all, trust that the love you're seeking is already within you, already radiating from you, already calling your beloved home. Tell me in the comments, have you been feeling this irresistible pull intensifying lately? Have you noticed the signs that union is approaching? What has shifted in you as you've stopped waiting and started embodying? Your experience, your insight, your truth might be exactly what another soul needs to hear today. And remember, beloved, union begins with you.